I just want to let everybody know who's watching this that this is the short version of how to get this feat. It's not very detailed and I probably missed a few things in this video. That being said, if you want to see a very detailed explanation of how to get this feat, check out my other video. Link is in the description below. Everybody, this is your boy DrkBLADExx, Exo Dark Enforcers, aka Black Hawk Division Leader for DCUO. What's going on? What's good with you? Yep. Alright, you guys see the title of the video. We're doing a feat known as Death Proof. This takes place in Drone of the Dead Elite. Elite version. You cannot do this in the regular version. Alright, so I'm showing you guys a screenshot real quick because we're going to take this a couple minutes to be here, and then we're actually going to show you the actual footage of this stuff working out for us. Also, I want to apologize that the footage is cut short a little bit, because this is back when you could only record about 15 minutes of gameplay. And of course now we can record an hour, but back then we could only record 15 minutes, and I had it set up to record the last 15 minutes, so the very beginning of this raid I don't have. But I do have the fight with Ares kind of like in the middle of that fight, so it's decent enough to at least put online. Alright, right here is a map of Throne of the Dead. I gotta show you this way because I really can't show you a actual real picture of it because you can't see everything no matter how I try to spin the camera around, so the map is the best way. Alright, now keep this in mind. To get this feat, your group must survive all the way through. Nobody can die. If anybody dies during this raid, nobody gets the feat. Everybody must live. When this content came out, everybody was 116 at the highest CR. I'm going to suggest everybody be probably about 125 when you guys try this, though. But, you know, take from it what you will. Remember, people were getting this when they were lower than that CR, 116, so it's pretty much whatever. Different what you will. Okay, I'm going to suggest 3 tanks. I'm going to suggest 2 healers. I'm going to suggest 1 troll, and everybody else is a DPS. Now, when it comes to your tanks, 2 people should have taunts. The person that's taking the essence and the person that's taking the God of War. The other tank that's going to be taking the ads, because we're going to be breaking them off into groups, keep that in mind, should just have a regular pull system. Alright, just regular pulls. The other tanks, like I said, the ones taking the essence and the boss, should not be using pulls at all. Use taunts. I can't express that enough. Use taunts. Now, some people are going to say, yeah, you can probably do this with just 2 tanks. You don't really need to have 3. And that might be true, but once again, I do my videos from the perspective of you being a low CR. So let's say that you're, able to queue up for this. You probably should not be doing this at queue in level, but whatever. People were doing it back then anyway, right? So, yeah. I'm going to assume that you and everybody in the group knows how to troll, knows how to heal, and knows how to tank, knows how to DPS. With that being said, yeah, come here, use your own judgment. That being said, use your judgment. Maybe you want 3 tanks, maybe you want 2. If you're going to have 2 tanks, then have 1 tank take the essence, while the other one takes the ads and the boss. If you're using 3 tanks, then you separate all 3 of them, which is what this map here is for right now. I'm going to briefly go over it. Okay, so let's cut this thing into sections real quick. Alright, so we have the top part up there, which separates the north and east gates along with the drone. We have the center of the arena, which is just separated by itself. And then we have the back part of the arena, which separates the west and south gates along with the entrance into the actual raid. At the top part, you should have essence, or the tank that's going to be taking essence. Nobody else should be there. Have your tank pretty much stand right there in the middle where you kind of see, the gates. You can kind of see both gates that way, and then have them lunge at the essence whenever need be. That tank should have a pull, just like that. Okay, in the dead center, that's where we're going to be taking the God of War himself. You're going to have healers there. You're going to have the tank there. Now, the healers are going to be on the edges on both sides, while the tank's in the dead center in the middle. Then in the very back part, that's where you're going to have the other tank them right at the gates, the entrance of this area. You're going to have all the ads there on that tank. Alright, now keep in mind that there are certain ads you need to look out for, such as the Punisher. The Punisher takes in all the damage you throw at it, and then it throws it back at you. And you're probably not the only person attacking the Punisher, right? So then it's all those people that are attacking it, all their attack damage added together on top of the Punisher's original damage. And then it gets thrown back at you. The damage does not split off, so everybody's getting hit for full damage. And, last I checked, you guys could withstand 100,000 damage. So you might want to, get out of dodge. Whenever you guys see that red skull above the Punisher and you see that green area of effect going around the room, get out of it. Run away. Do not block, not even if you're a tank. Not even if you're a tank. Leave the area. Run away. Another thing I want to tell you guys real quick about is the Bowmaster. The Bowmaster is sometimes even deadlier than the Punisher. The Bowmaster will target one member of your group. You'll have a little target around you, sometimes on the ground too, and it will shoot at you. And it's a one-shot. It will kill you if it hits you. What you're supposed to do is block, but not just block. Let everybody know that you're being shot at, because when you block, it bounces off you and ricochets and hits your group. And if they don't know about it, they're going to get killed. So when anybody gets targeted by the Bowmaster, everybody in the whole group needs to be blocking. Alright, I think I talked enough about that. Let's get on to the video. Remember, I don't want this to be too long. As I said, this is pretty much where I had to separate the ads again. Ads came in around the current pool. And I kind of lost the essence in the middle of there, which wasn't a bad thing, but of course we couldn't damage the essence, so what we were doing was we could have just killed all the ads and then I could have pulled the essence from there, but I decided to just say fuck it and just pull the essence by himself. Now of course some ads are coming with me, but once again I'm using a taunt, which can't be overridden by a lot of things. So eventually I'm going to separate them from each other, and there goes the Punisher. When you see that, the green stuff right there on the ground, move, get on mic, tell everybody to leave the area. Alright, so there we go. Once again, I got the essence. I also have an ad over here, but it's no problem. I'll take out the ad myself, so it's all good. I'm a healing tank, so that's good too. Alright, so now that I'm, sort by myself, I'm going to use my taunt now to make sure that I pull the essence over to me. Alright, now, whatever gate you want to use, go to one of those gates. That's where you need to keep them at, because you're going to have the boss right in the middle of the room. So the gate's going to be the farthest area away from the boss. Trust me on that. Alright, so right now, the only thing that's okay with attacking the boss is you and Wonder Woman. Anybody else, and that thing kills. So let your group know not to attack it. Now, you saw that one ad that was right next to me? That was kind of blocking and it was about to attack me and you leap in there? That was a Punisher, even though the name of it doesn't say Punisher on it. Whenever you see a Punisher, let the whole group know. Now, you also notice that I am not facing the group. I have complete faith in them, so I'm pretty much just doing my job. I have complete faith in them. I don't need to see them. That's pretty much how well together your group needs to be. I have complete faith in them, so I'm doing me. Now this ad's getting close, which means I'm gonna have to pretty much make sure that I let my group know that, hey, I got an ad over here, pull. I'll use my taunt on the boss so it can't get away. Another thing you might want to do is target lock. You know how you have like things called auto lock in a game? It's a button you can hit to do just manual lock, target lock, or you can actually go into options to have auto lock on always. So that's what I do for the essence fights. Right now those ads are back there and I trust everybody. I'm going to go back to my position. So right here in front of the drone, I pretty much just post here. And I look around the room to make sure everybody's doing good. A little bit. I don't waste too much time doing it though. But well, I was going to show you more about it, but whatever. I pretty much position my camera so that I can see both doorways that the essence come out and I don't see my group because I have that much faith in them. Right, and that is the hardest part of this whole raid. If you can do that, you're good to go. The hardest part is when those Punishers come in there and you have to jump out of the way and, you gotta, you need to try to get control back of the raid, because when those Punishers show up, it kind of, throws everything off. Everybody, groups back up together, you gotta do re-separations and stuff, it gets a little bit difficult. Alright, this part right here is where the pillars come up, you got Totem Masters and things like that. Well, not really Totem Masters, but you know what I mean. Alright, so totems come up, you take care of them, have your tank pull all the ads. At this point, you don't need to have 3 tanks. 2 is good enough. So have one of your tanks use an armory if they can and go to DPS. You should be able to do it before the fighting actually begins, before anybody attacks any of the pillars. You should be out of combat, so you should be good enough to switch. And yeah, make sure that your tanks are able to switch between roles when you start this, because you only need 3 tanks for the Ares fight. You do not need 3 tanks for the rest of this thing. Quite frankly, you might be able to get away with just the 1, but I'm going to suggest keeping those 2, especially for the last boss fight. Keep 2 tanks, just to be safe. Just to be safe, nothing else, just to be safe. Alright, so have your tanks pull the adds, everybody else concentrates on the pillars, and then we begin the next thing. Now, this is going to be different from what you see in the video, but keep in mind that my group's overpowered, so I'm going to explain it in a way for someone who's not as high in CR to get this feat. What you want to do is burn down the first boss, but do not kill it. Take the boss's health down really, really low, to where you think he could just drop at any second. But do not kill the boss. Alright, once the boss's health down is real low, just block. That's just block the fight. Also remember that when purple shows up on the ground, roll out of it, like that right there. The purple is stuck under the ground, under your character. It is not locked onto you, it's locked onto the ground. As long as you roll out of it, it will stop attacking you. If you stay in the purple, you will die. Guaranteed, especially the lower CRs. You will die. Roll out the purple. Alright, so once that boss actually goes away, another boss will come out. The second boss. Once again, rinse, repeat. Bring that boss's health down really, really low. Don't kill it. Let the third boss show up. Once the third boss shows up, now you can kill that boss. And hopefully you do kill that boss. Bring that boss's health down really, really low and then wipe it. Now the reason we're doing that is because when you kill any of these bosses, the other 2 activate and they're always active. Which means you have to fight 2 bosses now instead of 1 at a time. Like there's 3 judges. Whenever you kill 1 judge, now the rest of the remaining judges are all fighting you now. This is elite, so it's a little bit different than regular. But since our health's now down real low because you brought it to real low levels, they should drop in a couple matter of seconds. Which means it shouldn't be that difficult now fighting 2 bosses. And if you do it that way too, you also get a feat. So why not? Now here comes the, well, like I said, the rest of this raid's a cakewalk after the fight with the God of War. But now here comes the second hardest part of this whole thing. Hades. Hades has mechanics just like regular, but they're a little bit OP now. Try to keep in mind that this is elite, which means that the weakest adds in this whole raid are pretty much at the same level of the bosses in the regular version of this raid. So they're about that strong. Keep that in mind. So all the regular adds could probably one-shot you if you fought them by yourself. So try to avoid that. And I'm saying that because, you know, potentially, and it's going to happen, when you're fighting the god of the underworld, you know, Hades, he will, you know, occasionally teleport people to the, you know, tunnels down below. You guys saw the map. Tunnels down below. So teleport someone north, someone south, someone east, someone west. Once you teleport down there, you'll have ads on you. Like 1 ad will appear with you. So I suggest you guys pick an area where you guys want to meet up. Don't fight the ad there. I suggest picking an area. Like, if anyone gets teleported, we all head north. Or we all head west or east. You know, everyone meets up, but then you guys fight all the ads together. That gives you guys a higher rate of survivability when you fight together as a group. Also, keep this in mind. When people get teleported, it's usually 1 of each role. So a tank gets teleported, a troll gets teleported, a healer gets teleported, and a DPS gets teleported. That's why you're having 2 tanks here, so that there's always a tank in the room that can keep absorbing damage. Because remember, this is built to be a raid. If 4 people go down to the tunnels, that means that there's only 4 people fighting the boss, and this is meant to be a raid. 4 people aren't going to do too well. So your job is to get up top as fast as possible. So yeah, pick a section you guys want to meet up at and head over there. Do your best to head over there, have your sodas ready, maybe have your personal shields if you have that. Whatever have you, maybe a breakout or whatever. You know, just to prepare yourself. Alright, see, I'm a tank, so my damage is not going to be as strong as everybody else. Now, while I could kill this ad, probably, most likely I can kill the ad in a couple of, well, several seconds. I'm not going to say a couple seconds, but several seconds. It's much faster for me to just find an exit that someone else already killed one ad at. Why waste time? Alright, now you see that little shield around him? Whenever that shield pops up, do not attack the boss. That shield will reflect anything you throw at it. And last I checked, your attacks were hitting higher than your health bar, which means you'll die if you attack that thing. Keep that in mind. Now, you see those judges walking around with the yellow glow? Avoid them. Do not get close to them. They will crowd control you or CC affect you. They'll stun you and pretty much take control of your character, making your character walk into places you don't want to go until you break out of it. So try to avoid them at all costs. Alright, seeing as how the group went down below, I'm taking the boss because, well, someone has to be able to take that damage. If anybody else tries to fight this thing, they'll probably get killed and we'll fuck up the feat. So I'm doing my job as much as I can. Power's a bit of an issue, but like I said, people got teleported, so yeah. Gotta make do, keep your sodas on deck. Which, actually, in retrospect, I should probably have a soda in my loadout. Alright, I think I gave everybody enough tips as it is, and enjoy the rest of the video. I have one more tip. You don't have to follow this at all, but you know, it's up to you, your choice. Whenever Wonder Woman falls down, I suggest you pick her up. I don't think she really matters too much in this raid, but as it stands, it's an extra thing that can get attacked in this raid instead of you. And it doesn't affect anything, so it's pretty much like having a decoy in the group, sometimes. Sometimes she will tank the boss, sometimes she won't. Sometimes it's just something that can get attacked. You know, if it's kind of like having a tank, not like something like pretty much like a teammate that doesn't really matter, like just a throwaway doll or something like that, like a throwaway target. You just throw it there like a decoy, and it just chills there. Now, of course, Wonder Woman is weak, so you'll be picking her up a lot, but I think it's still kind of worth it. Up to you completely, though. Also, the same thing goes with sidekicks and backups and things like that. Trinkets. Anything that you can bring out here potentially is something else that can get targeted, and instead of hitting you, it's now hitting it. So yeah, think of it that way too. However, during the first fight with the God of War, I suggest not having any of those out, as they may attack the essence and actually heal it. Remember, when it comes to essence, if you crowd the essence, it heals. If its teammates crowd the essence, it heals. If anybody besides the person that's actually in front of the essence, aka the tank, who should be the only person attacking it, if, you know, anything else attacks it, it heals. Got a couple last minute details before the feat pops. Okay, so listen closely. You see those judges walking around? Avoid them. Because if you don't, you're going to get crowd controlled CC, aka they're going to control your character. You can break out of it, of course, but why go through that? They'll make you walk places that you don't want to walk to, and you might end up walking into a hit that will potentially, you know, have a chance to kill you. So it's best just to avoid the judges at all costs. Another thing I want to tell you about is the shades that are walking around. There are shades that are walking around that will randomly pick you or one of your teammates and also turn them into shades. When this happens, it is very, very, very important that you let your team know that you were turned into a shade. Okay, now when you get turned into a shade, you'll notice a few things. You can't move the way you want to, you can't attack the way you want to, you can't use your powers the way you want to, and you can't defend yourself the way you want to. Pretty much you're a walking punching bag. So your life expectancy isn't very high at all. What you can do is pick an area of the room where no one's at, or go to an area of the room and tell everyone to get away from you. In your loadout bar, there will be a power that will let you stomp out your power. If you stomp about 3 or 4 times, you'll be able to get rid of your shadiness or turn back to normal. This stomp, however, if it comes in contact with any of your group members, will kill them. That is why you have to let your teammates know when you're about to stomp out your power and tell them to get away from you. That way they have enough time to, actually get out the area, you can stomp out your power, and then you're back to normal. And I think that's all the tips I can think of to give you guys. I hope this short video is enough for you guys to get the feat. Remember, if you need more information, there's also the detailed version of this video, but keep in mind that that video is about 2 times this length. Well, I'm not gonna say 2 times, but it's double the length of this film. Thanks guys for watching this video. Shout out to everybody who's in this video. Once again, you guys are all DE as far as I'm concerned. Every single one of you. Alright guys, see you later. Bye bye.